Thought I would do my weekly update, tell you guys where I'm at, what I'm up to. Um, let's see. Came back. I think it's been about a month now. I still have had like a underlying resistance to something. I'm not really sure what, but I can feel it. Um, After the first module, it was there too, but it felt a lot stronger. So, so definitely there again. And it was a little confusing because I'm just like, I feel pretty good, like I'm not really consciously holding on to anything or judging myself or shaming myself. I feel really good and clear and clean. But then I can feel that underlying resistance, so it's kind of telling me there's something there. Um, yeah, and then what's interesting, what I really love about my teacher, Don, is that this isn't about sex. Like sexuality and sex is a part of it, but her focus um, is self-realization through relationship. She was just talking about it yesterday in India, and I'm really someone who likes to grow. I would much rather grow than stay the same. And I think I've always been that way. I don't know. That's what it feels like. So I really enjoy that about her. Um, and because of that, I'm looking at my relationships a lot as you know a way to grow. And I've also done in my leadership training that I did, where this is from my contract to myself through EAC, which just shifted me in a big way, opened me up to a lot of the parts that I was hiding from. Uh, and in there's a lot of self realization, awareness stuff. So all these tools, and then also I did the Path of Love, and there there's a lot of tools as well. But in that one, I started to do bioenergetics, and Osho dynamic meditation, which uses bioenergetics, and I think that's really the combination of the mind and the body together towards growth has been shifting me a lot. And so, like with bioenergetics, there's it's based on Wilhelm Reich's work, and there's these different character types, or basically armors, physical armors and mental armors that you create to survive as a kid, as a child, to your environment. Um, and I don't have to go into it. You can read my GoFundMe, but my childhood was pretty lacking in a lot of stuff. So I have a lot of armor. And I've noticed that throughout life, I've just kind of stayed in cycles to reinforce that armor or to create new trauma to it. Things, relive old traumas. Um, so I've been really working, doing a lot of bioenergetics, been reading a lot, you know, things like just towards my growth. And yesterday I came across um, this video from Greg Braden, which I had never heard of before, but I think he was big in the 90s when there was a lot of self help and shifting going on in the United States. And he was talking about these 7 mirrors, Essene mirrors. I had never heard of it before, but it's some um, ascetic Jewish, I believe, group way back in the day that came up with these 7 mirrors that would help you to realize for spiritual growth. And I was watching this video, and he was talking about the first two, and the first one is, you know, basically people are reflections of yourself. Uh, you know, so if you feel fear, then there's fear in the other person. And then the second one is a little bit more subtle, they say, which is if the first one doesn't hold true, like you don't really feel that that's true, then it's what you're judging in other people or what you're judging in the present moment. And, I was only like 15 minutes into this video. And when he got to that second one, didn't make too much sense. I mean, it didn't like really give me any sort of aha moment. But then he started talking about, an example in his own life. And the way he discussed it was like, you know, basically if you have a charge about something, you have an attachment to it, that you're creating something. And in that moment, I just like realized uh, I've created so much separation and pain and disconnection with my charge towards inauthenticity in other people. And it was a pretty powerful realization. I started to shake, and I felt all this energy come out of me. And then I went into a Reiki and release, which is related to the bioenergetic work. And it's, like your body has so much armor, and as you start to de-armor, you feel more in your body, you sense more, and then you'll start actually releasing or feeling emotions that you had never felt before, or just perceiving things differently because you were so dissociated before. And yeah, so I just surrendered to it mostly. It's still a little bit difficult to give up full control to it because it's scary when you're a recovering control freak. But yeah, like I just started, all this energy came out of me. I felt like um, punching my bed. Had a lot of kind of guttural noises coming out of me. And this is all Reiki and release stuff. It's the trapped energy finally coming out of you. And at first, it was really scary, to be honest. Afterwards, like I felt kind of a little bit ashamed and things like that. But then I just remembered that this has happened a few times now. Um, yeah, it's happened a few times. And I think it's a good sign. It's a sign that, all the hard work that I'm doing is paying off. It's just stuff that I'm not used to. It's like so much repression from my entire life, even possibly from when I was just in the womb. Um, and I started thinking about those three main times I've had a Reichian release spontaneously like that. And what's the thread between them? And what came up for me was shame. So you know, I don't know. It's kind of hard to admit this. Maybe it's shame, but I've been so dissociated for so long from my body in such a multifaceted, intense way, um, that I don't feel shame at all. For whatever reason, I still try to be a good person and I love people, but I've never really, until recently, ever felt connected to people or society or cared about any of the stuff that most people care about. Um, and I don't feel shame. I can remember when I was a kid and feeling it, and it would just destroy me because I got shamed nonstop, no matter what I did, in intense ways. So yeah, it's crazy. Like I'm like waking up, becoming I don't know how you describe it. I don't want to say a person. I've always been a person, but letting go of all this stuff that I didn't even know I was holding on to. Um, and it's interesting. I guess it's really the only way I could say it. I don't want to say it feels great to feel shame, but in a way it does. It just feels good to feel and not be so isolated and separate, even if I'm feeling things that are intense. Um, so that's where I'm at. I feel like I'm a walking transformation. Like every week, I'm opening more and more and more. I'm really excited to go wherever I'm going. Uh, and I truly hope I get to turn around and help people and make a life out of it. I have two more modules left if you're curious about that. Raised a little bit of money. I still have, it's really hard for me to ask. You know, I would think it'd be easier by now, but I have to force myself every single time, even just to post about it or make these videos. Um, and then actually asking, it's rough. It's rough. But I'm grateful to be doing it. I feel like it's no matter what, even if I don't raise the money, I'm growing in a huge way. So if you could donate, I would appreciate it. Or if you know anyone that would be sympathetic to what I'm going through, if you could share it with them, or really just go talk to me about bioenergetics, or go look it up, or tantra, neo tantra. Everyone's sexuality is so repressed. It's just a bodily function, and yet it seems like almost no one can truly enjoy themselves with it fully in totality. And that I don't know, that hurts. I don't want anybody to be like that. I know what that feels like in an intense way. Uh so yeah, thank you for listening. I'm gonna keep moving forward, keep growing, and receiving. I think that's another part that I'm finally getting. So thank you. I'll talk to you next week.